We need, darling.
Okay.
Okay. 10 seconds. Oh, got 2 people on here. Got a like already. I wish that was the wife. Gives me a like just for looking at me. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing okay tonight. I appreciate you being an early bird. We'll wait a few minutes, get some people in here. If they don't show up, then we'll just get going. Did y'all like that picture I seen? Oh, good evening there, Steve. What's going on? Dean, how you doing, buddy? I read that it was a comment you put out, I believe. I read it to the wife. What was it? Dadgum, I can't remember what it was. She got a kick out of that. What was that? Daggone, I can't remember, boss. It was good. I don't know. It'd come to me. I'll wake up about 2 o'clock and it'd hit me. Y'all like it? Did any of y'all see that that community post I put out about that trash can? I got it sitting here. We'll see what's going on. It ain't that big a deal. It's just something I got when I was a kid. I've had it for decades, over 50 years. It's 1971 can, and we bought it. We bought it new at the store right there across the river there. Mama did when I was a kid. But I had never seen one like it in person. I've been searching here, not now, but a few years ago, went online, started looking around. I've seen them from other teams. I think Baltimore. I've seen one in Baltimore. But usually just plain background color and has a big old G on it, you know. I must have missed it. Kentucky Leisure. Yeah, it was just a community post I put out. I don't know. I think you saw it, Kentucky. I'm not sure. We'll pull it up here, and ain't nobody show up there. They just have to see like George Ciros. Hi. Oh, I thought that was the big drink cup. No. That was this trash can here. It's in good shape, man. It ain't rusted or nothing. That's dust down there. I thought that was rust. I took my hand down and I need to get a wet rag and wipe it out. But it's in good shape. But it's got Nitsky on it. Got Willie Wood still on there back in too. Then Bart Starr. And it's got Carol Dale on it. I didn't know that. I was hoping it was going to be Max McGee, but he retired for it in. But Carol Dale's just from down the road in Wise County. And he went to Virginia Tech. So, but those 4 guys were on there for the 2 Super Bowl wins and for the NFL championship in '65. So they're they won 3 championships in a row. That's the last team to do it. So I was surprised. Hope you're well. Yes, I am. Oh, I thought that was a bit. Yeah, okay. I can only remember work stuff perfectly. Can't remember anything else. Legends. Yeah, they are. It's just amazing. You know. I was hoping I still had Jim Taylor. That was Dad's favorite back in the day. But he retired after the I don't know, he retired in late 60s. He went to New Orleans for a year, I believe. Then he retired. But evening from Nebraska, Bill Green. How you doing, Bill? Nebraska. Y'all got any snow out yonder? It ain't, man, it was beautiful here. Let me see. Today's Thursday. Tuesday, it was 70 degrees, man. This is going to be a great Christmas, man. And yesterday, it was up in the 60s. But today, it dropped a little bit, got down in the 50s. So, I don't know, man. It gets below 50, and I get to freezing. I can't take it. Not yet. Okay. 6 inches in Minnesota. Yeah, well, you guys are tough up yonder. You guys are just a different breed, boss. I went up to see Packers play Detroit in December of 2010, I believe it was. I don't know if it was no, it couldn't have been 20 years ago, whenever that would have been. 2002, 2003, 2004, somewhere through there. And that was cold. And they didn't have no snow. I think it snowed that day at a ball game, though. So, yeah, it was cold. Warmest place in the whole place was the bathrooms. You get in that the outside ring where you can walk at, and it freeze you to death. That wind blows down there just like a tunnel. It's cold. Good grief, it's cold. It's just winter. Yeah. My problem is we don't have bad ones down here very often. And when we do, then it sucks, because we hadn't had no snow. We had a light dust in the last year. That was the first one in 2 years. And to be honest with you, I don't think the ground has froze over in about 2 years either. It just hasn't been cold enough long enough down here. And usually it does freeze over. It gets hard as a brick, but it hasn't. Not lately, anyways. We sure have had a whole lot of rain. Yes, we have too. Yeah, if it was colder, yeah, I know. Yeah, because last week it may get down in the teens. We had some days it didn't get out to 30s, and then this week it just warmed up. So I ain't much. Well, I don't mind it. I'll be honest with you. I ain't got to put up with it. And I cut back my time outside. I don't get out there early. I wait till it warms up a touch, the sun comes up, and junk like that. But hello, leisure blank. Next year I retire, and then next winter I'm heading to the Gulf Coast. That's a good idea. I usually like to go down. I'd usually just get on 95. It's right around the corner. And we'll head that way if it gets to where we can't take it no more. Just till it warms up a touch. I mean, a lot of times that's, we get down to Carolina and it's fine. Just enough to give me a break. Trying to talk the wife into going down there. I'd like to go down to Florida this year. We ain't never made it down there in the wintertime. I don't think we have. Times we've been down there since we've been together has been in the summer. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening. Hey, Ronald, how you doing, boss? Wouldn't mind a couple inches of snow for Christmas. Yeah, Mama always says that. Well, Connie says it too. She likes it because they didn't get any hardly down yonder. Ice storm, they get a lot, but very little. Matter of fact, when we was dating, they didn't even have salt and sand trucks or any of that. It just wasn't worth it for the city or town to buy them, have them on hand. So what's up, bub? Cole, hey, boss. You about ready to get out of there? I'm usually at one of my veteran meetings this night, but I had to work over a couple hours, so I missed it. Well, I'll be done. Well, you still at your old job, Cole? From the nearest beach, leisure, I think it's 2 hours to get down to Virginia Beach, depending on how you drive. That's the nearest beach to me. That's down there where I seen I went and had lunch with Keith and Terry at. They were down there. We went down there to Highway 64 and we come back up Route 10, come up through the county. Hey, y'all, on the corner. FTM 22. Man, I see you all over the place on you. North Carolina, I'll be retiring January 2nd after 40 years. Tech top on the same job. Man, that's a long time in the same place, man. It is nowadays. Tech service, yep, okay. Well, good for you, Cole. I had a guy this next month was supposed local fellow up near Midlothian. They were supposed to meet me for the bell ringing, and but he never got back with me. So you might be the first one to ring it in person, Cole. When I was living in north central Mississippi, road treatment in the winter was a guy that, that's why I didn't want to say it, but that's the way it was where Connie's from too. Had a couple guys riding around with a shovel in the back throwing it out. If they had a real bad icy spot or something. You're going to do some more Civil War videos. Love those. Yeah, I'm going to wait till the weather changes back in the spring and the summer. I'm going to kind of spread it out a little bit now. I've gotten most of the ones right here within 15 minutes of me or so. I go up north of Richmond, and we got some places over there in Denwood and stuff like that. A lot of them I've never been to. A lot of them ones I went to this year I've never been to. But it's interesting. And so much happened right here because Richmond was the capital of the South. One thing I am going to do, though, and I don't normally do this, but we got a cemetery up here in Richmond, Hollywood Cemetery. Got a couple of presidents buried up in there. Jeff Davis buried there. We got quite a few prominent people from Virginia there, and like chief justices and senators and junk like that. And it's a pretty place on a bluff overlooking the James and stuff. It's my son and a couple of his buddies went up there about a month or so ago and come back with some pictures and talking about it. So it's me and the baby have been talking about going. We'll catch it in the spring when the weather breaks. It's good. It's nice. It's from what he showed me, anyways. And I've heard about it all the time. We just ain't never went up there. And then they got one across the river over yonder at Hopewell, Appomattox National Cemetery. The thing about that one is it's we had a lot of U.S. colored troops here back then, and a lot of them got buried over yonder. And I think it's like 98% of them that they actually have records and names on the stones for them. Didn't happen a lot back then, from what I understand. So that makes it kind of unusual. They know everybody there. I don't know, but I'll check it out. I mean, we used to play baseball over there. There's a park over there beside it, so we used to play baseball over there. Brian Harrington, what do you say, Steve? Merry Christmas. Like Brock's Barbecue, good stuff. Yeah, that's just down the road, boss. We well, that gets me to thinking. I got a West Virginia shirt on today. Last time we was up here, I don't know, about a month or so, and I had a yellow one on in, and me and Connie were sitting there eating, and some lady just walking down the aisle going to her chair. She stopped me because I had that shirt on. Wanted to talk about it. That's a cure in this area. That's a cure for loneliness. You put something on with a West Virginia on it, you'll get stopped every daggone time. I always tell Connie we got more transplants here than they have in the whole state of West Virginia. I don't think it's true, but I mean it seems like it, because they'll sure stop you and talk to you, ask you where you're from, stuff like that. I'll have 25 years next year. Time to go. I'll be there if I can. Ring that bell. Good luck to you, boss. We stumbled on your channel and realized you live in the area. We are an Army family retiring in North Prince George. Oh, yeah, David Thompson. I don't know. Yeah. How long you been here, David, in the area? Your kids go to Prince George High School? I know a lot of people from Prince George. Actually, we lived out there. That's where Mom and Dad lived at when I was born. They were out that way. Down there, Parker's Grocery. Actually, there used to be a place down there. I don't know the name of the road, but it was Prince George Hunt Club used to be down at the end of the road they lived on down there. Brock's under ownership now. Oh, I didn't know that. Last time we was in there, I think it was the same fella still working back yonder. I could be mistaken, boss, be honest with you. We don't go that much, but we do if we happen to be on that in the area down here. Because I'm actually almost in Hopewell. We in Enon's where we're at. Looking great, man. Merry Christmas. Jerome Pope. You ain't a local fella too, are you? Had a lot of Popes play ball across the river over yonder. 2 years, yes, PG. Oh, okay, 2 years. Hey, you they got a great museum over there at Fort Lee. I imagine that's where you were stationed at. I guess it's Quartermaster Museum. They used to have Patton's Jeep over there. I've been to that too. And back in the 30s, I believe it was, or 40s, they did a movie back there, and they showed it was a lady. It's sort of like Private Benjamin. A rich lady goes into the service, but they show like an aerial shot of it, and there's a dirt road there leading down in the front of it, and it's like it's way out in the middle of nowhere. She's in the Army now, I think is the name of it. Probably late 30s, early 50s, I believe, or late 30s, early 40s. So the kid's coming up for Christmas. I sure hope not. Yeah, they'll be here. They ain't going nowhere else. We do Christmas by the same way as we do Thanksgiving. It's just a few hours to get together and chit chat, and it's nothing major, but it's a good time. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, they'll be here. Bakersfield. Oh, okay. Hey, man, I know where Bakersfield's at. I was looking to go see them trees one year. I ain't never made it yet. Probably never will. But Bakersfield's where I was looking to making my home base, where I went out to go look at them sequoia trees. Yep, Quartermaster. You and Mrs. Steve have a great Christmas. Thank you, Blaine. I want everybody else to too. It's before I go any further, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, because I'm not gonna make another video this year, so I won't get another chance. And it just, hey man, I'm not much for preaching, but I think it'd be a good idea to just take a few minutes and remember the reason for the season if you can. Jesus Christ's birthday. And then go on about your day. Bakersfield, Buck Owens, yes sir. I got a tiger by the tail. He was good. What, he had another one too. You're gonna make me I'm gonna be in the movies. All I gotta do is act naturally. Oh, and actually I used to work at the string factory with an Owens, and he was actually some kind of kin to Buck Owens. His dad was. I guess that makes him one too. Probably second or third cousin or some bull. Go Pack. That's right. Same here, Troy. Those big redwoods. That's right. Yeah. I want to. I don't know whether we are or not. Be honest with you, there's a couple of things out there I'd like to go do. But I'm old enough for my wants not to hurt me. So I'd like to go out there. Well, I'd like to get out there to Winslow. And the only reason is to take a picture of that daggone corner and use it for my daggone channel picture. But the baby thinks that's nuts just to go out there for. Can't say as a blamer. But when we went to Green Bay, I got a picture of the boy up there with Holmgren away and Lombardi Ave and stuff underneath the signs. So, what do you have on the corner for Christmas dinner? Probably just going to have a ham and I don't know what all else. I made some green beans. Pretty much Thanksgiving, except we'll swap out the turkey for a ham, I believe. Macaroni and cheese, probably. Kind of makes a corn casserole. Sometimes we'll do that. But I think we've kind of switched things around. I think we have a meal on Christmas Eve. We have been, and she makes a breakfast casserole for Christmas morning. Just make it a leisurely day, and they make some ham rolls with some cheese on it with them little bitty rolls, looks like sliders or something. Kind of snack food all day Christmas, but on Christmas Eve is when we usually do things. So, how long have we been together? Couldn't tell you, boss. I think it's 37 years. Yeah, it'd be 37 this coming April. What do you call Virginia ham in Virginia? Dinner. I don't know. I've done a lot of research. There's something interesting in every state here in the U.S. You really don't have to travel far. That's true. I mean, I said in one of my videos when I was out and about that, I think it's the one over at Appomattox, I believe, Appomattox Manor. You don't. I could go somewhere different every one place a week, different a week, and probably wouldn't even get out of the Richmond area. Probably 20-mile radius. It's just so much that goes on here. But it's no different than Myrtle Beach or Atlanta, Georgia, or Houston, Texas. It's just unreal. And you don't realize how much is around you because a lot of people want to get out of town. When they take a vacation. So I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. 37 is awesome. Congrats. 27 there. Well, congrats to you, David. Bo from Tupelo here. I may retirement from teaching in a couple of years. Well, good, Bo. Well, you teach college, high school, or grade school? My daughter's a grade school teacher up here, down the road here. I don't know if I told anybody how smart she is. I get to brag. But we raised her from the time she was born to the time she got growed. We helped send her to college. Then she comes back and works in the same county we live in. So our county taxes are paying her salary, technically. So she's going to live on my dollar the rest of her life, or the rest of mine. I told her when she graduated, got that job over in the corner, I told her I see what she done. She's sneaky. One of my favorite Dwight Yoakam songs is Miner's Prayer. He wrote it to honor his granddad, Luther Tibbs. I didn't know that. The one I like about him is reading and writing, Route 62 or 22 or something like that. Because that's where a lot of them people from West Virginia come down here. They'd send buses up yonder, and they'd have meetings at high schools and stuff, telling them they got all kinds of jobs down here. And a lot of them would come down here. Dad and all of his brothers were down here at one time. Worked with a boy over at the string factory. He was telling me. He said they put ads out in the paper and everything. Problem is, they all went back. They'd come down here and didn't like it, and then they'd go on back. But some of them stayed. But they would tell them, hey, man, if you know anybody back home, tell them, come on down. We'll put them to work. We'll find a job for them. That's why we got so many in this area. It's just loaded for them. You don't realize it until you wear a West Virginia shirt. Ole Miss. I teach. Oh, no kidding. Running Rebels. I like them. I think that's where Archie went in it. Archie Mann, didn't he go to Ole Miss? I teach as an adjunct online in retirement as a side hustle. No, that's Ninja. No, I didn't know you still did that. Fire. I didn't know that. Teaches a noble job, not much money the early years, but a decent retirement. Yeah. that's going to be a bonus for her when the time comes. Our family of 3 is sharing Christmas dinner with a next door neighbor who lives alone. It does help since we don't have lots of family. Yeah. Well, usually for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I take a few minutes to go over and see my little ladies. Got one that lives over here and one across town there. And but they always have neighbors come over or something, like their friends or whatever. But I like to show up, and I get a kick out of talking to them because I don't know, it's just a good time of year to visit with them. I still go over and see them every week, but holidays are a nice time, and they can be lonely, especially older, and you tend to lose a lot of loved ones the older you get, and that's rough. So I like to show up, give them somebody to giggle at. 3 strings walk into a bar and order drinks. Bartender says, "We don't serve drinks here, and you are strings." One stands up, ties himself into a knot, fluffs his top, and orders. I'm sorry, boss. That one went over my head. I had to read it twice. Hey, Buzz. I'm having fun watching New York City videos of the Christmas decorations, Macy's, beach driving there. You darn right. Oh, here, Buzz. I show you. I didn't know you was on here yet or not. So I'll show you that picture. It's from 71. So what's that make it? 21 would be 50. So it makes it almost 24 years old. You might know this guy, Buzz. Ray Nitsky. I thought it was cool. I was over at Mama's earlier this week. It was still in my old bedroom, so I went over there and picked it up, brought it over here. It's a big pension. No kidding, Bo. Boy, you're going to be good with your health care paid. That's nice. That's a bonus, man. I ain't going to lie to you. Because that's our biggest monthly expense, I believe it is. Health insurance. Yeah. If you can get that paid for, man, that's beautiful. My dad worked in a factory for about 2 weeks. He was a country boy that didn't like to be cooped up. He left the factory for work in the oil fields. My granddad down in South Carolina, I think during the Depression, he had a job working in the mines. I remember him telling me one time, he was the same way. He didn't like going down in that hole. And he ended up working on machinery there above ground. So, but he didn't do it long. He went back down to Carolina to be a farmer. He was a farmer. "We don't serve strings. You're a string," he says. "Afraid not." Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw that, Dean. And it's exactly the way I feel. And honestly, that gave me a lot of problems. Well, not problems. It gave me something to think about, and because I didn't retire to squat. I didn't. I retired because I didn't want to have to go into work anymore. I retired from something. But there's so much noise out there, man. You don't know what to believe. Some people definitely do, man. Some people don't need to be retired either. Some people just work is what they want to do. But I ain't like that, So it's not for everybody. And it means different things to everybody, Because I had seen a video just before I watched Buzzes that day talking about purpose and reason and meaning to your life. It's like that daggone Riley Moynes or whatever wants you to squeeze all the juice out of retirement. It's needed for some people, but I don't think I'm one of them. But it bothered me because I didn't have anything planned. And from time to time, it crosses my mind: am I really doing right, or am I going to regret it later on? right now, I say I'm doing right. You know, it's not something you'll know for decades. Just like running out of money, you know. Right now, everything looks good, but you know, I'm not going to know if I run out until I die. You know. I try to encourage young folks to join the military if they're not interested. Actually, never went to high school, but kept at it until I earned my PhD. No kidding. I had an uncle. He always tried to get me to go and learn heavy equipment. That's what he did. He was heavy equipment operator. When he was over in Vietnam, I guess making airfields or something. I don't know what he did. Well, actually, I guess he was actual rifleman then. But he eventually learned heavy equipment. That's what he did when he retired or when he got out. That's something I wish I'd have had enough nerve to do was join, but it's not in me to join. I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't. You know, that's why it impresses me when somebody actually can put their name on that piece of paper. It's something a quality I ain't have. That was a good one, Dean. Yes, it was. I thought so. Yep. You need to have ideas of things to do when you retire so you have them if you need them. Has no idea when he had time to work. Yeah, well, that's the way it works out. I mean, I do a lot of running. I check on Mama. I check on my little ladies. You know, and I always have a couple of days where I'm just gonna goof off, maybe run down to the river, or go to one of them Civil War parks, or you know, maybe me and the baby run around, go to some auctions or whatever, you know. But as a general rule, day to day, you know, unless it's something like cutting the grass or getting the leaves up or something, I really have nothing planned. Nothing. It's just, you know, I say it all the time, man. Sitting out there with a glass of tea or just knocking around in the backyard, probably, you know, it's probably probably more, it's probably something I like more than anything else, is what it is, I guess. You know, I'm just as happy doing that as I would be anything else. So, but, you know, it's like I said. Oh, and I did put an application in today for a job. I sure did. I asked the baby about it. I said, "Baby, you mind if I take it?" She said, "Get." I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but the Wienermobile is hiring drivers. They pay you $35,000 a year for that. You get full benefits. Your hotels are covered. They give you $150 a day per diem. All you got to do is drive that around to, you know, little get-togethers or whatever. I think there's 200 engagements a year you got to make. I said, man, that'd be great, man. I was made for that. We'll see. I won't get it. They're looking for high school, young professionals, bachelor's degrees and stuff like that. I got a better shot than a lot of people don't put in for it. My favorite package years were those with Favre and Reggie White. Army, I couldn't do more than that, but they matured me nicely. Yeah. Now that's a big deal too. I've seen a lot of guys go in and when they come out, even if they just go in for that initial stint, 3 years or whatever, it's amazing at the person they come into when they come out. Oh, better not tell the husband about the Wienermobile. He'll be done. Thank you. I got as much out of it as the country did. Okay, that was about, I don't know. I didn't read the name, Dean. I thought it was Thompson down there in Prince George. It was still the thing. Did you see that, Kentucky? Yeah. Civil War. It's a YouTube channel. Yeah, American Battlefield Trust. Yeah, they do real good. But they actually go get the park rangers, and I mean, it's amazing what they do. I mean, they've been all over. They go up to Gettysburg and stuff, and they really do a lot to help restore them and save the land, because a lot of times the land gets sold out from under people. But those guys are good, and they get intimate with their stories. They have like a diary from somebody that was there and stuff. It's impressive. It really is. Because I went out to Battle of the Crater, and they got a video about that on there, and it's impressive. But I mean, them guys know their stuff. I'm not much of a history guy, but it's just amazing to me to go somewhere like that and realize what happened on there and who might have been there. Wienermobile. Now I've heard everything. That's the truth. I looked into one time about NASA was wanting to have people to lay in bed and not get up, because they want to see how the human body would react on a trip to Mars. I looked into that, but I don't think I could have done that one. I don't know how long they had to lay there. I don't know if it was for a year, if it was 6 months, or what it was. But they wanted to see what the effects were on the body, but just laying in bed. But they'd have you in one of them space chairs, I guess. I don't know. But that's been a few years back. But I did look at that one. When I say I'm lazy, I mean I'm lazy, Doc. Angie, how you doing? Hey, Angie, next month you want me to give your husband a ring? I didn't realize that you guys had he'd already gotten his first pension check. I didn't have your name wrote down nowhere because I didn't want to ring it without getting your date and everything. You can lifelong bachelor's degree. Yeah, to drive a Wienermobile. You believe that? Bachelor's degree? Well, it's some kind of actually an advertising job or some bull. You know what I mean? Because they got to do TV appearances whenever they pull in town, and maybe a radio station, or they pull into a car dealership, and they're kind of ambassadors for the brand. I found it's like a regional thing. Does anybody out here have a favorite? I'm from Cincinnati, so I know I like cons. We like cons. Let me see. There is one type that the baby started getting if she could get it. It wasn't cons, but it was something else. I think it's that one out there in New Jersey. I don't remember. Nathan's. That's it. She really likes those. Do you ever miss the safety meetings or business review meetings? No. Well, actually, I did a video of this earlier, but be careful of slips and falls and stuff. I got that almost off of a safety meeting we used to have every year. Slips, trips, and falls. I cheated. Let's see here. Hopefully with Cleveland mustard, 280. Oh, okay. One that's not so good real long term, I don't think. I have a brother who could pass that NASA test. Well, that's nice. I don't know his name, Angie. I just say Angie's husband. How's that? Hope he's doing okay, Angie. I know he had a little bit of health problems last year, and things coming around on him, I hope. Oh, you know what? While I'm sitting here, I don't know if any of y'all watch Retired and Loving It, but they got a live coming up in on the 30th, I believe. I just seen it come across the I don't know, YouTube homepage, I guess. Y'all might want to check that out. They it's a retired couple. They're a few years older than me. I think Keith just turned 70. But they live up in Indiana. Got to go. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Dean. I hope you enjoy it, buddy. No more earplugs. Hard hat. Oh man, I still got 2 hard hats behind the seat in the truck. We had to wear it gate to gate. So I always had to have a hard hat on and steel toes and safety glasses. And that's what these are. My old ones got scratched up too bad, regular glasses. I just took the side shields off of them. They're still good. I do need to go get my eyes checked again though. But probably sometime next year. Jeff, he's doing better. Seems the second. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Jeff, I'll get that wrote down. Buzz, that was a good video you put out about purpose. Nathan from the Jerk needed a special purpose, but I sure don't in retirement. Nathan from the Jerk. Oh. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Buzz put out a lot of good junk this past couple nights, man. That live he did. I seen some people talking about records and Led Zeppelin. Somehow I've ended up with a bunch of records. I mean, I got boxes full of them. But so I got number 2 and number 3. I don't have number 1. I ain't bought none of them. I don't know if y'all can see how well y'all can see that. Oh, might help if I move the right direction. This here's nope, that's the wrong one. This here's the one that's got that pinwheel in it. And you can be able to see the pictures change when you spin it. I think this here's from 69. No, 70. That other one's 69. I don't have one. But my neighbor down the street, they were moving one time. And he didn't want to move them, so I just took them. And I got a handful of them here. I pulled out. We went to an estate auction here last month. And down in the basement, that guy, I bet if he didn't have 10,000 records, he didn't have one. And it was set up in there. I think he was in the business. Because it was set up in them cabinets, them counters where you could just flip them back and stuff. And he had a jukebox down there and 3 or 4 record players and stuff. I think he was in the business on it. I don't know if y'all can see this one here. She Loves You, Yeah, 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 by the Beatles. And this here's a good one. I like this one here. Now, these don't have the sleeves on them like the other ones do. Day Tripper. And then we can work it out on the backside. I like this one here. You don't see these too often. Talks about the first 100 years of baseball. Jimmy Stewart and Kurt Gowdy. You remember him? He used to have an outdoors program. And they narrated. And it's got some original recordings on here of like Bobby Thompson. Shot heard around the world and stuff like that. Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth's talking on there, their farewell speeches and stuff. So I like that pretty well. Then I got 2 more here. I don't know if anybody listens to country or not. That's Tanya Tucker's first, Delta Dawn. That's when she was 13. That's her first album. And then I got this one here because on the back of it, it's gives you the songs. It says Ohio. I always know there's 4 dead in Ohio because that song talks about the Kent State massacre. I had a teacher in high school that went to Kent State. He was there when it happened. So, and doing better. Yeah, we've been renovating the house. Just finished putting new flooring in. Yeah, I've never done any of that either. Matter of fact, we don't have no tile in here. We put some in our main bathroom one time. Maybe 10 years ago. We just have linoleum around. Great collection. How the West Was Won. 3 CDs. Yeah, I bought very few records. Most of the time it was in K-Tel things where they would be a conglomerate of the 50 best songs that year or whatever. I didn't get but 1 or 2 of those. But most of my stuff, I just been given to me, like that guy there. And Connie, now when Connie was younger, she bought a lot of them. So we got a lot of stuff from her. And her brother and sister are older. So we got a few older albums from them too. And then when I was a kid, Mama used to belong to that record club. So that's where I got a lot of 45s from them, her, because of that. But Scott McFarlane. Hey, Steve. Well, hey, Scott. Are they 78s? Yeah, the big ones are. Then 45s are the small ones. I used to have a record player in the shed that's built onto the back of the house. But it's not heated or cooled, and electronic parts really don't do too well. So, but it lasted for a long time. It eventually got to where it wouldn't play, the record player. But here, I don't know, a handful of years ago, kind of got me on one of them portable ones. Looks like a little suitcase, you know. So once in a while, I'll play them on there. My son likes them. He's good on naming names and everything. I don't know bands or songs and nothing. I just know whether I like it or not. Then I hear it and I say, man, I never knew they played that. Do you have some? Yeah, Buzz. I'm late reading your message there, Buzz. 33s. Oh, it could be, man. I don't know. I hadn't seen them. All you gotta do is look at them and see. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's been so long since I had them. $33 and a third or some bowl, ain't they? We had when I was a kid, we had little bitty records like that. They were made out of like yellow plastic or red plastic or whatever. And those were like 78s or something like that. So remember cutting them out of the cereal box from Bobby Goldsboro? My little Blaney up has a chest in her storage unit. It weighs about 100 pounds. Yeah. I mean, they're all over the place, man. It's surprising. And Goodwill we go to they got hundreds and hundreds of them in there. You could spend all day looking through that stuff, man. Probably wouldn't find none but Lawrence Welk or something. But there's a lot of stuff, man. And most of the stuff I don't pay no attention to. I'm bigger in the country. And I don't think I have a CCR record at all. And I like them a lot. But 78's old records. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. It was Turkey in the Straw. And I don't remember what the other one was. Turkey in the Straw, Turkey in the Hay. But I don't know if it was put out as I don't know. I don't think those were old records. I think they were probably put out for promotion or some bull. They might have been. I don't know. I don't even know where we got them from. I had them when we was kids. Oh, okay. You remember them from the cereal boxes? Some had little disc inserts in the middle. Yeah. Well, I got one. Well, one of them has a disc insert, so to fit on the thing. My first 44 was Rocky Mountain High, 45. Conway, hard to beat. Yeah, he was all right. I like him when they sang You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly. And I like that Mississippi Woman, Louisiana Man. That's a good one too. It's hard to beat classic country songs from 50s and 60s. Weren't 78s the largest? Man, I don't remember. I thought those were 78, so you asking the wrong person. I was wrong on them. But that's right there. I know them little ones are 45s, but I don't know. The ones we had they were actually smaller than a 45 round. They weren't much bigger than about like that. But you had to play that on the high speed you had, 78 or whatever. In order for it to play right. So I don't know what those were. I Had the Night Chicago Died. No kidding. Huh. I don't have much. I just happened to be looking through them the other day when everybody was talking about them records and stuff on there. I said, I know I got some Zeppelin. I'm not much of a Zeppelin fan. A couple of songs they got I like, okay, but I would never bought an album of them. Never would have. But well, I didn't spend my money on squat when I was a kid. Mom said, I always said I would rather do without. She said, she's never seen a kid like it. Paper Lace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that's right, Kentucky. 45, 33, and 78. But yeah, I don't know. The ones we had weren't, though. I don't know whatever happened to those. They were like little kiddie songs on them. First 78 was in 25. No kidding. Is there anything you don't know, Ronald? He's giving me a lot of good, Ronald's giving me a lot of good on poems and stuff. The guy's a poet, man. He's good at it. And he sent me quite a few emails that were pretty good, man. Oh, yeah, and he's the one that made a bench, too, sort of like what I got. You know, and that's something else, man. I just, I want to thank y'all for watching, for showing up tonight, for the help that you give me or the heads up that y'all have given me on your comments. It's like that last video talking about, I seen a lot of comments on Irma. And some people brought that up. And most of the time when I talk about any finances on here, it's because it's something I've thought about and have already discussed with my financial guy. So, it's just a situation I find myself in, and I had to ask him some questions or whatever. Or we've discussed it before. But it's nice of y'all to give me a heads up about that stuff. I get a lot more out of having this channel than anybody ever get from listening to it. I always say that. And I appreciate it. You guys don't realize how big a help that is. Live at Farm Aid, lead me home, gets me every time. Wished I had all the money I spent on needles. I think that's what eventually got me off of that record player I had out yonder. It was, at one point, it was hard to get needles. Or for me anyways. And so I quit playing them on there. And then I think eventually it just got rusted up in there. I don't think I've heard that one. Blaine, Live at Farm Aid. But I have to listen to it before I know. That's the thing with me. Interest rates continue to come down. Does it change your finance strategy? No, but that's something I was wanting to ask y'all, see if anybody got spooked yesterday and decided to get out. I hate to be negative Nelly, but to be honest with you, I like to see it drop 10 or 12% or better. Because I'm a little heavy in cash, so I didn't even take no gains this year. Last year I took gains 2 or 3 times, but I'm a little heavy in cash, and so when I move my money, I want to move it into I want to put as much into the S&P 500 fund as I can and recoup, catch it on the way back up. I'd rather do it when it's down than when it's up. But roll some out of my cash account in the or my bond funds in the 401. So, I don't know whether it will or not, but I would like to see it take a beating for a few days so I can get in there at a lower rate. We're overdue, man. 2 years already. Actually, better than that, because 22 was in well, no, that was earlier that it was bad, wasn't it? I don't remember. I don't know if 22 was that flash crash we had, because by the end of the year we were back up. So, but no, it doesn't really change my mind any on that. I chucked up one order. I didn't like yesterday. Too expensive to get out, and the tax hit is insane. Don't get out when it drops like that. Well, I'm not getting out. I'm just going to roll my money from my 401 to the IRA, and then roll it move it from one account to the other one. And there's all it is. So, thinking about dumping my Walmart stock. You know what? We went into Walmart the other day, and in our Walmart down here, they locked the men's underwear up. They got them a daggone cabinet big as this wall, and you have to go find somebody to unlock it. And then they take it to the daggone jewelry counter, and you have to pick it up there, and you have to pay for it there. You can't get it and take it across to the cashiers. That's how bad it's gotten. Have not used my REs yet, but this next year have RMDs coming up. No kidding. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I might not ever hit RMDs. Just doesn't run in our family to live like that. And if we do, it's not that big a hit because we won't have as much left before taxes by the end. Because we're using that money up now this decade before I take Social Security. What goes down will come back up. That's the way I see it. Have not used buy low, sell high. I got a rock solid investment plan. Buy low and sell low. Take us on a gator hunt. No, we don't hunt gators around here. I have hunted them. I've hunted wild boar, been coon hunting, even hunted ginseng up in Ohio with my cousin's husband. Hunted with a crossbow. My cousin's husband had one. I'm not much for deer. I have been, but I prefer squirrel or rabbit or something. It's a lot easier and quicker to clean and put in the freezer than cleaning and dressing a whole deer. So I never even cleaned a whole deer. Never had to because I never got one on blade. Seen it done, but I ain't. No. Too much work for me. I'm lazy. Well, I had an uncle down in Florida got he thought it didn't matter where when you showed up, he wanted to take you out in the swamp and take you for a ride on an airboat. And I did a story about that too. I think it was a 2-part video I did about a buddy I lived with in Ohio. He was from Philadelphia. Never been out of Philadelphia in his life till he moved to Columbus. It was the year that I think the space shuttle blew up going up. We was down there that year. It was cold up there in Columbus, man. It was cold that night. And I come home from work and I was ticked off. I'd had enough. I said, man, it sure would. I come in the door and said, it sure would be nice being in Florida. And our other 2 roommates had went home for the weekend. He said, you want to? And that's all it took. Well, next day we were down there. And he had a blast riding in the airboat. Miami Vice was his favorite TV show. So he got to ride in the airboat. We went hog hunting. Armadillo fell out of a tree, scared the tar out of him, man. He seen that bush rattling, he gone. We had a good time. Run out of money, and I had to come back home. Lost our job because we didn't tell nobody was leaving. It was a mess. They look pretty much everything up here. No kidding. Me and you both blind that take us on a gator hunt. We had a newspaper. Yep. See that credit unions are paying good to lock you in to the higher rates, Steve. Yeah, we got one earlier this year at the bank around the corner where Mama banks from. We split our savings account, put a few dollars in yonder, and I think we got till July. I think this coming July it's in there. I don't know what we're going to do. They just talked to the bank lady 2 days ago. We'll see how it goes then, and we'll see. But yeah, to me, that cash is really not to make a whole lot of money. If I can get a good rate, I'm good. But it's more for security, and it's more for if an emergency comes up. It's more for if the market's down, I don't have to pull out then, and double dip on myself. I don't, that. I'm hoping it's preserving my money for later on. But it's not easy hunting ginseng with a crossbow. Yeah. I hadn't hunted in ginsengs. Last time I did all that stuff, honestly, is before me and the baby got married. Because when I lived in Columbus, I used to come, my uncle and cousins and stuff lived down on the High River. So it was only about a 2-hour drive. I'd come in on the weekends, and we'd always mess around. And it takes a lot of that to make a pound, man. Once that stuff dries, there ain't nothing to it. And at that time, I don't know what the price of it was, but it was a pound of it was going for outrageous at that time. So, but yeah, I sure have been with him a few times to do that. He even named his dog Zang after it. He didn't do much work at that time. That's all he did was trap, hunt zing, and maybe haul meadow and stuff like that. That's all it took for him to make a living. And he killed everything he could get a hold of, though, and he took it home. So, but yeah, at that time he didn't work nowhere. I think he ended up working in a ball bearing plant or something up yonder. I never ate any squirrel. What does it taste like? I don't know, man. People ask me that, and honestly, I deep fry everything. So it all tastes pretty much the same. Flour and salt and pepper. Cook it in grease, and it all tastes, chicken or pork chop or whatever. So I don't know, man, to be honest with you. Good, but other than that, I can't tell you. It's just quicker and easier, and it's less, it's less prep work and everything. Once you clean him, you're pretty much just going to have to soak him a little bit and then roll him in flour and salt and pepper and throw it in a pan. You only get little bitty that. Squirrel ain't so big. You only get little bitty pieces out of them. I guess I've seen people have it in stew. I do got a couple recipes I found on here about some stew and stuff I thought I might try, but I haven't. Armadillos climb trees. Now, he was in a bush. I don't know nothing about armadillos, but my uncle had a video of him down in Louisiana hunting with some guys he knew down yonder, and it had a fella jump off the end of the airboat. The guy had slid his airboat up on the back of that hog. He was trying to come out the water. And they had that guy. Now, these guys were all drunk. That one guy jumped off front of that airboat on top of that hog. And he sung his head like that and gored his butt right up in there. And he was bleeding like crazy. And it scared my roommate. And so he thought that was a hog coming after him. After he seen him gut that guy's arm like that. So, but we had dogs there because he catches them. He sends them dogs up there and they'll grab a hold of them in their snout or their ears. And then you go over there and you throw them over and tie them up. But, and I got a cousin, his son down there now he raises dogs to hunt them. But it's, it spooked him when he saw that. And so that's the first thing he thought was that hog was coming to get him. First week of retirement, first time sitting out. Good for you, Belly. I can't wait till I get to say that. Don't have to scrape a windshield. Whew. Happy holidays from the Hoosier State, Troy Horn. 7.5 months till retirement. Indiana. It's hard to believe that we ever landed on the moon over 50 years ago. We can't even rescue 2 people. Well, hey, man, you know that I was thinking the other day because I made a video about that daggone school shooting. It was in Milwaukee. And that's what I was going to say. I forgot to say it, but it's hard to believe we can put a man on the moon, but we can't secure a school. I don't believe that for a second. But that's bad. Still haven't figured out how to sleep in after retiring. Still waking up by 6:30. It might be your natural rhythm, Angie. I know mine is. I was worried about that sleep because working swing shift, you never work more than 7 days on a shift. Then you change. And I was up and down at all different hours of the night. And so when I retired, I figured it would naturally resort to a steady pattern, and it never did. And it started bothering me. And somebody on here told me, don't think about it. It'll come to you naturally. And it weren't a couple of weeks later, I was going to bed and getting up early. And I just let it eat the way I wake up whenever I do. But, so it might be your natural rhythm. 6:30 is late. I usually get up about 5. I'm usually between 5 and 7. It's 5 and 6 during the summer, and I might push it to 7:30 in the wintertime. 3 squirrels, potatoes, carrots. Yeah. Make for one fine stew. I've never had it that way. It's just, yeah. But yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a slow cooker too, so we might try that. Blaine used to get up at 5, but I wouldn't mind sleeping till at least 8 since I stay up way too late. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Well, I don't ever stay up late. If I stay up late, a lot of times I'll have to take a nap during the day just so I can make this thing here, because if not, I'll be sleepy. Happy holidays, Steve. And can't know about a 6-foot drone for a week. Yeah. I kind of think that's a military thing, because from what I hear tell was back in the 60s, they used to bomb the East Coast about every night, practice runs, and nobody would know because they flew so high. It was just dummy runs, acting like they was bombing the East Coast. So I kind of think that drone thing might be practice run for the military. And you can't hide it because you got to have, they don't go up where people can't see it and stuff. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Money and science and what's that? 10 plus years retired up 5 most days. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Drones are the size of an SUV. Yeah, I never seen one. I kind of find that hard to believe. That's not an individual person buying that thing. That's got to be, military thing, government thing, whether it's ours or somebody else's, if they're that daggone big. I don't know. I ain't too concerned over it. Wants me to take that. You can't be that, Andy. You can't be that grumpy. Well, anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I really want y'all to have a nice Christmas, and I really want to thank y'all for watching. Oh, if anybody that's fairly new on here, I'd say the past 8 months or so, because this past spring I made a cheat sheet for Steve's retirement corner, because I can repeat things over and over, but it would make the videos so long. So, but in that cheat sheet, I talk about all my pension, Social Security, what I'm doing for health insurance, all that stuff. Kind of give you a heads up on what I was dealing with when I retired, why I've chosen to do certain things. Because my 401k is pretty restrictive on how you can take the money out. So, but I mean, if there's any time you need a question answered about something I say, I don't mind answering it. But one of those videos, I think there's about 7 of them over the major topics. Those might help give you an idea what I mean when I say something. I don't know. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Y'all enjoy your new year. Next week, I'm going to put out Historic City Point and Appomattox Manor and Western Manor. 2 little historical places I visited across the river over in Hopewell. I don't know whether you'll watch them or not, but give you a heads up. That way you know what they're about, and you don't got to watch them if you don't want to. 46, get a pension, Social Security, and Roth. Wanting to invest more, should I go 401k no match or just a Fidelity account? I couldn't tell you, boss. I really couldn't. I don't know. You best ask your Fidelity guy and ask him. He'll tell you. But yeah, everybody have a good night, man, and Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas. We'll talk to y'all. I don't know, maybe after Christmas, the 30th or something. That's a Monday, I believe. I appreciate y'all showing up. That's awful nice of y'all. Y'all take care. Jerry Wells. Send me an email, Jerry. My email address is on the homepage. And I'll get I don't, because I don't quite understand that. Should I go with a 401k no match or just a Fidelity account? Man, I can't tell you what to do, man. I got extremely lucky. And I've had a lot of help. I talked to accountants, health insurance people, and they own financial advisors, man. So far, I haven't been led too wrong. Kirk Lassine, Lassine is what I'm going to have to go with, boss. I'm sorry. Time for your disclaimer, Steve. Yeah. Don't listen to me. Consider anything I might say as wrong until proven otherwise. Get professional help with anything that has to do with retirement. Anything I talk of, I've talked with a professional about first. Or it's in my mind to talk with them the next time I see them. Most of the time I'm right in line with what they want to do, but I mean, them guys are smart. They got experience. It's just, it gives me a little bit more, comfort knowing that I've had somebody else look at it. Because I roll out of bed, ain't got nothing to do. It's not like I come around and look at my numbers and stuff and start figuring things out. I don't. I got no idea what to do. Well, I mean, I do, but I got no professionalism on any of that mess. Billy. But anyways, y'all take care, man. I appreciate it. And y'all enjoy the rest of the year. We'll talk with y'all later. In stream. Nope. I guess got to hit a button.